Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to the rank number 1 Commander card for Season 7 video. He needs no introduction. Everybody knows a filthy Vega main on their server. They've been hit with that one slot bust breakdown Gemini combo. That Commander's permanently awoken with his 2 cheap Cinnabars. He's an absolute menace on every server, in Ace of Galaxy, in the 6v6. It's Vega. Oh boy, the stat-ignoring meta in Tier 12 and Season 7 has blown up. It made Gilly and Nekajiro... Vega was so good, people started using Gilly and Nekajiro. Not to say that Gilly wasn't always good. Gilly was good. But Stella is out because she just can't break through the defenses. If you haven't seen what Vega can do with a full breakdown in Tier 12 airships, here's a replay. Yeah, this is it. Jesus. So you get a Scorpio, Vega gets first strike, and he gets a Scorpio. No breakdown. Rogers goes, triggers nothing. Nothing. Okay, now Vega goes, gets a breakdown, and a Libra, which doesn't matter. Breakdown. So he's going to one-shot. Boom! Because Rogers had no defensive stance. He just took a full hit to the face. If he wouldn't have landed that breakdown, he may have only killed 100 or 200 ships, and that's normally what happens with Tier 12. It's a slow, tedious, back-and-forth battle because of how much stats, the base stats the troops have and the research they have. But then Vega popped on the scene, ignores all their defense, and just crushed through, which switched everyone over to HP gear. Everyone gets switching over to penetration gear. Everyone's switching over to damage reduction gear, and they're trying to survive Vega. So HP, damage reduction... there's even new helmets that came out that are even better to survive against Vega. They don't really do much for Vega, so that was nice. All the helmets were actually against Vega. But he is an absolute force to be reckoned with. There are ways to beat Vega, of course. Rogers still beats him in a fair fight, although he can do a massive amount of damage to a Rogers, especially if he gets lucky. Remember, this Gemini and Breakdown can combo, so he can double strike that Breakdown, which is not fair at all. Like, if Leo and Gemini trigger, then Leo hits with Gemini, and Gemini hits again. But he doesn't get, like, double Leo strikes. With Breakdown, he does. I think that's broken. They need to fix that. Anyway, remember, Gift to the Valkyries, best in slot for Helm. Yes, damage is nice on him, but honestly, Vega hits so friggin' hard with Breakdown. You don't need the damage. It's better to just get the HP, the survivability, get that extra tear space damage as well, and don't make yourself a glass cannon. You don't need to. Fearless pants are the way to go on the pants. You think about Melt. What about Magiwell? Yeah, you could go with crit damage on the pants, but crit wither is a thing. Commanders are taking away crit from you, so that's a risk. But also, not having Fearless makes you take a ton more damage. Remember, it's HP, so it's not going to be ignored by other Vegas and Gillies, like defense would be. And it's damage reduction. If you haven't watched the damage reduction video, basically it scales exactly. So if you were to be hit by 100,000 tear space, with my total damage reduction 20%, you just knock 20% off of it. And of course, those higher level players are using bigger, better gear. But this is pretty much the agreed upon best build for Vega right now. There's always room for, tweaking. If you do want to be like a one slot bust style player, you can do that. As far as gems are concerned, really what you want to do is find ways to take advantage of Breakdown and mitigate your worst matchups. So commanders that are really going to do damage to Vega are just other defense commanders, Reinhardt, Elf, Rogers. And so what you can do is for Reinhardt and Elf, you can just run the new Cepheus jewels and disable their ability to heal. Plus the base stats on those jewels are really high, so that's worth getting. Let's see if I have any open. I may not. And let's see. Handbook. Yeah, I do. There's Cassiopeia. There's the Cepheus. Okay. So, and it also has crit wither built in. God, airships are good. Airships are good. And also it does a little bonus damage on the hit. But taking away the ability to recover HP is probably the biggest deal that people overlook because of how powerful Reinhardt and Elf are in the current meta. Scorpio's okay on him, but you're already getting a lot of guaranteed hits, so it's not mandatory. I think the best jewel set for the third jewel, if you're going a third jewel, is kind of up for interpretation. If you're running tier 11 or tier 10, that gives you even more options for Sagittarius or Leo. Probably Sagittarius is better there because Leo and Breakdown aren't going to stack. And Virgo. Virgo is always worth mentioning just because Virgo is a great jewel set. Makes your opponent go last. It's great against Rogers or anyone for that matter. Of course, you want double Titans in the weapon slot. I personally run crit jewels on my Titans in case someone's running a cheeky little crit wither build, just to make sure I get a little extra crit there. As much as I would love to have an extra 60% damage, when it really comes down to it, you know, what is that extra 60% damage compared to the total 550%? It's like 10% of it. So the crit's more important to make sure I get that crit damage, especially if I'm running gear with critical bonus damage like Magiwell, like Eye of Abyss, items like that. I personally don't run a Vega. A lot of main big players do. I am currently going infantry. So, yeah, that's it. So congrats to Vega for being the winner of Season 7. Definitely the best commander in the game to play it. Honorable mention is Gilly and Nekajiro. Neko's not as good. He does have the Permanent Awaken. Gilly is maybe better. Good, but not, I don't know, maybe not better. Her Awaken is far more expensive to use, and her Nonviolent Resistance, I don't think, stacks with Gemini. Can we get a confirmation in chat? Does anyone know for sure if Nonviolent Resistant and Gemini stack like it does with Vega and Breakdown? Check the comments below. Are you still there? If you're still there, I want to talk to you about Reddit. Reddit.com is another source where we post all of the Arc of War content. If you like getting content from YouTube, check out the Arc of War subreddit. It's in the description below. All the best contents, spreadsheets, new information, event information can all be found on the subreddit, and it's free to join. You can even get it on the Reddit app. Join us and other community members if you want access to all the content that's posted there, as well as Linus and Discord. So if you haven't checked out the subreddit and you're still listening, do it. Trust me, you're taking in Arc of War content. You want to learn more about the game. You want to get more involved. Get on the subreddit. And if you want to post memes and be a part of the meme review for Arc of War, check out Melt Gotta See This, where you can see all of the best posts, all the best memes every week from all your favorite meme engineers from around the Arc of War community.